So you just uploaded a photo to Instagram and on your computer it looked like this, but then on Instagram it looked like this. Hey yo, I've had a few people request how I export my photos and upload them to Instagram to get the best quality. So first thing to look at on Instagram is the ratio of how you want your picture to show up. The most popular formats on Instagram are gonna be the square, 1x1, this portrait, which is 4x5, 16x9, which is gonna give that cinematic feel. And similar to the 4x5 is gonna be the 5x4. You should just upload what looks the best for your shot. After doing a lot of like business photography and promotions and video ad classes, the most popular right now is gonna be this portrait 4x5. The reason for that, when others are scrolling on their phone and they're looking through photos, this one is gonna take up more of the real estate than a cinematic 16x9. Compare the size of the 16x9 to the size of this 4x5, it's almost like twice the length up top. So like I said, you shouldn't completely change your shot if it needs to be wide or square, because one might be better on Instagram, because it should be about the art first. For a lot of the portrait, if I just have like a single subject standing there, there's no need to show all the background like this cinematic shot. So I will just, you know, make it a 4x5 portrait. For all my editing, I use Photoshop, but I'm sure it's the same with other editing programs too. Like these are still common crop ratios. So after you crop it on Photoshop, I go to export, I go to save for web. But all I do here after I click that is I change the size for the side ratio, this X, and I make it 1080 because, and I haven't checked this recently, but the highest width Instagram will accept is 1080. If you put something wider than 1080, like you just upload like 2000 or whatever, it's gonna compress it a little bit. And so this might mess with the overall quality of your image. So when it comes to 4x5, when you change this and it's still locked, it gives you 1350 pixels for the height. And so that's gonna be the maximum pixels you can get. If you do a cinematic like this one, 16x9, and then you change it to 1080, notice the y-axis is shorter, it's smaller. And so this isn't 100% necessary, but it's what I've been using, and I pretty much have zero complaints as far as like, you know, trying to get the best quality on Instagram. One trick also before doing all this uploading is I do increase the sharpen a little bit. Don't go crazy with it. I make a copy of the final layer and then I do a high pass filter at 2 pixels and then change this blending mode to linear light. And then I kind of mess with the opacity a little bit because I don't need it full blast. And so this really adds like to all the edges, like a little bit of sharpen. And so on here, it might look a little too much. When you upload it to Instagram, it's going to compress still, but it's still gonna keep some of that extra sharpness. And so it looks a little bit better. And even on this, sometimes I'll mask out certain parts. Like I don't want their plastic hair to look super sharp, or I don't want their plastic clothes to look super sharp. So I might edit that out. But when it comes to like their face or their armor or their details, you know, I want that to be nice and crisp.